Seen this photo a million times. Carlos Arredondo right here pushing the wheelchair of Jeff Bauman shortly after the bombings. But behind them is a BU student, a BU physical therapy and athletic training student, and several others. They were at the medical tent that day expecting to deal with sore muscles, perhaps hypothermia. Our Shorbani Banerjee spoke with some of them who obviously ended up helping with much, much more.
We all came out here together, ready and excited to help all the runners that just fulfilled such wonderful dreams and journeys to get here.
New paint, new outlooks. This year, the finish line becomes the starting point for so many looking to take back what Marathon Day is meant to be. Last year, when the finish line became the front line of a terror attack, students volunteering at the medical tent feet away suddenly became first responders.
Everything that day was scary and it was shocking, but the people that surrounded you and the city of Boston, I mean, everyone came together and everyone acted to help each other out. Whether it be the fellow peers of mine that were athletic training students that were just so heroic that day, or the first responders, and just seeing them run into the action.
Also running right into the action, Larry Venus, the head athletic trainer at Boston University. He had about 20 students with him that day.
It was just devastating. There was blood everywhere. There were people screaming. It was just horrible.
He ripped down barricades to help get to the victims, then ran back and forth for medical supplies.
Every time I see Martin Richards' picture, it really hits home because my son is 8 years old and he's a Bruins fan, so that really hits home. But the pictures of Jeff Bauman and Carlos and the person pushing the wheelchair is one of my students. So that has a lot of meaning as well, that she was in the thick of things.
That student didn't want to talk, shying away from the unexpected celebrity her selfless response generated.
We're thrust into this terrible situation, and we didn't really have time to process it until much later that day and even in the weeks afterwards.
Student volunteer Liz Rathje is still processing it a year later, choosing to run the marathon, her first with her brother, to raise money for charity and so much more.
I've gained a lot of strength from that day, I would say, is the first thing. I mean, that day in itself is so tragic and it is scary and it's shocking, but the resilience and the strength that came from that city, I mean, my thoughts and my prayers are with those who are affected by it every day, and those who are injured, those who lost their lives, their families. They're always in my thoughts, they're always in my prayers, and to just see them and to see their strength, to see their resilience, and to see the city's resilience and strength has given me strength. It's given me a reason to come and run it this year.
She will be running this year, and Larry, he'll be right back in the medical tent.
Just think about the inherent good in people, where you looked at what happened that day and how many people didn't think of themselves. They rushed to people's aid. Runners who had just run 26 miles and 385 yards, who I was helping the year before cross the finish line or walk up to their medal, and now they're running back to help people. It was just great, the resiliency and the testament to the American people and the people involved that did that.